the budding sculptor. His eyes full of wonder, the young man sat upright. He had seen something so beautiful, and his mind replayed the sight. A sculpture exquisite beyond his imagination. The artist in him awakened. He knew his future destination. He searched and finally found that sculptor in a faraway land. It didn't matter, he wanted to himself get sculpted by his hand. At the earliest, he reached the master and prayed that he accepts him. The old man saw his passion and realized it was sincere dedication, not just a whim. As a disciple, the following day he was asked to come in time. The young man was there on the dot as the clock began to chime. Smilingly welcomed, a big piece of jade stone was to him given. He sat all through the day with it, just as the master had bidden. The stone lay in his hands while he was asked questions about his life. He spoke about his family, his joys, and also his strife. Time flew by and soon it was past evening. He returned home puzzled. Time had sped by with him, being taught nothing. The next day he was summoned again, and the exercise was repeated. He answered the master's queries, holding the piece of jade as he was seated. A week later he was tired and exhausted. "I am going to ask today for sure," he thought, feeling quite dejected. But he couldn't. For the master he had so much respect. Alas, again the same old story. The next day he just couldn't face the prospect. That morning he walked in and sat with a grimace. The stone was in his hands and he could feel its surface. He looked up swiftly and stood with the stone. "This is not jade, master," he said in a confident tone. The master smiled and looked at his disciple happily with pride. The young man smiled, feeling himself glowing from inside. Yes, the master's ways are difficult to understand many a time. Just being in his presence will find us learning something sublime. His presence itself teaches what just reading a book can never teach. How blessed is the one who has a guru whom he can always easily reach.